E-Class is one of Mercedes-Benz's most storied models. Robust, stylishly understated and practical, it has traditionally been as popular with taxi drivers as company directors, and more than 13 million have been sold over multiple generations. Key rivals in the class include the Audi A6, BMW 5 Series and Jaguar XF. While the BMW and particularly the Jaguar focus on driving enjoyment, the new E-Class plays the luxury card, offering a level of in-cabin style and luxury no other car in the sector can match. Larger than ever and full of tech, longer but lighter than its predecessor, the new E-Class saloon has a wheelbase stretched by 65 mm to deliver additional interior space. But the area where it really outpaces the competition is in interior style and quality. An optional 12.3-inch color screen replaces the traditional speedometer and rev counter with customizable digital displays, and stretches almost to the other side of the dashboard. Not even the S-Class limousine can match the E-Class's tech meets luxury ambience. A step closer to autonomous driving, Mercedes is investing huge sums in autonomous driving technology, and although a fully self-driving car bearing the three-pointed star is still years away, the E-Class takes us one step closer. Using the remote parking pilot, owners can actually get out of their car, which will then park by itself in response to a prompt from their smartphone. The E-Class also features the latest version of Mercedes Adaptive Cruise Control, a system that can maintain a safe distance between you and the car in front, right down to a stop, and even steer between the white lines at motorway speeds, although it requires some level of input at the steering wheel every 30 seconds or so. Other innovations include seat bolsters that actively push you towards the center of the car when a side impact is imminent, steering that intervenes to help you steer around obstacles in an emergency, and a smart key saved in your phone that replaces a traditional key, although this technology is only suitable for Android, and not Apple phones. Wide range of engines launched in predicted biggest-selling E220D guise alongside a more powerful E350D. The E-Class saloon range has grown to accommodate a cheaper diesel, a plug-in hybrid and high-performance petrol versions. That means 7 engines in total, but plenty of scope for buyers, whether they want economy, performance, or a little of both. The Mercedes-AMG versions, E43 and E63, offer serious performance and the ability to deploy it in all conditions, given that both come with 4MATIC all-wheel drive as standard. Choice of 2 core trim levels. Trim levels are restricted to SE and Sporty AMG line for the majority of the range. SE models come with parking sensors, a reversing camera and the self-parking system, LED headlamps, satellite navigation and autonomous braking. AMG line cars add 19-inch wheels and sportier interior and exterior styling tweaks, including different bumpers, seats and dash inlays. Like its C-Class brother, the E's handling is reassuringly stable. It's highly competent, but rivals like the Jaguar XF are more engaging to drive. If you're looking for the most comfortable, refined car in the class, however, look no further. The verdict: practical and stylish, with access to a concise but wide range of engines. The Mercedes-Benz E-Class manages to offer a little bit of everything you could want in a business-class saloon. From economical hybrid and diesel variants to the standout performance of the AMG E43 and E63 range toppers, the only thing missing really is a mainstream petrol engine car. It might lack the outright drivability of the BMW 5 Series and the restrained looks of the Audi A6, but the E-Class offers a seriously strong balance of abilities. Read the full Mercedes-Benz E-Class saloon review to learn about the new saloon in more detail. Lots to choose from, with diesel, hybrid and petrol, impressive economy from the new 4-cylinder, massive performance from the AMG cars. There's a broad range of powertrains in the E-Class saloon, with diesel, plug hybrid and petrol all taken care of. Diesel engines: the bulk of the lineup goes to diesel, unsurprisingly, with a 4-cylinder 2.0-liter motor that made its debut in the E-Class kicking things off. It's much smoother and quieter than its predecessor and available in 2 states of tune, the 150 horsepower E200D and the 194 horsepower E220D. Picking between the two is a bit confusing, as the more powerful version offers the same fuel economy, minus 72.4 miles per gallon, despite being over a second quicker from 0 to 62 miles per hour, 7.3 compared with 8.4 seconds. That's in part because the 220D packs 400 Nm of torque to the 200D's 360 Nm. Although the more powerful car's 150 miles per hour top speed might seem academic beyond the speed limit-free autobahns of the car's homeland, It hints that there's still strong overtaking performance available at UK motorway speeds. You can also have the E220D with 4MATIC all-wheel drive, although expect sprint times and economy to fall, 7.5 seconds and 62.8 miles per gallon for this model. For those wanting more power, there's an E350D powered by a 258 horsepower 6-cylinder engine. With an extra 64 horsepower over the E220D, plus 2 additional cylinders, it can cover 0 to 62 miles per hour in 5.9 seconds and has a more relaxed character thanks to 620 Newton-meters of torque, at the expense of the E220D's superbly low running costs. Expect 51.4 miles per gallon. Petrol engine's an odd mix here of a fuel-sipping plug-in hybrid and the fire-breathing Mercedes-AMG models. Let's deal with the E350E first, a 4-cylinder motor assisted by battery power. This can sprint from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 6.2 seconds but still promises 134.5 miles per gallon. We think it's unlikely you'll see this figure, but sub 50 grams/km of CO2 makes it an attractive choice for company car drivers. It offers potent performance minus 286 horsepower and 550 Newton-meters of torque. At the other end of the E-Class spectrum are the Mercedes-AMG E43 and E63 performance models, powered by a V6 and V8 engine respectively. The E43 packs 401 horsepower and 520 Newton-meters of torque for a 0 to 62 miles per hour time of 4.6 seconds. It makes a great, if slightly synthetic, noise full of 6-cylinder howl at the top end and menacing burble at the bottom. It's a great mix of performance and everyday usability, offering great performance when you want it and the ability to make laid-back, wafty progress when you don't. Its fuel economy isn't much off the V8 car though, with 33.6 miles per gallon on offer. The top AMG E-Class comes in 2 variants, the standard E63 and the E63S. The normal E63 offers up a slightly bonkers 571 horsepower and 750 Newton-meters of torque, racing from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds. Upgrade to the E63S and those figure climb to 612 horsepower and 850 Newton-meters, meaning serious muscle at any time you choose to deploy it. This car shaves a tenth off the E63's 0 to 62 miles per hour and offers identical fuel economy of 31 miles per gallon. Characterful doesn't quite cover the barrel-chested V8 squeezed into the engine bay. It's not the most tuneful noise in the world, but it's certainly loud and exciting to listen to. Despite packing a pair of turbos, the E63S offers razor-sharp throttle response and hardly any lag when you press the throttle pedal. The super quick 9-speed automatic gearbox helps here, which has a spooky ability to be in the right gear at all times. Our engine choice of the 3, we'd go for the E220D for its incredible blend of strong performance, excellent refinement and low purchase and running costs. But be aware that the 102 grams/km CO2 figure only applies to cars with the smallest available wheels. Stepping up from 17-inch to 20-inch diameter alloys adds 10 grams/km to the CO2 output. A good steer but better handling rivals available high grip from 2-wheel drive. Even more from 4MATIC AMG cars are a real blast on a twisty road. The new E-Class is very competent in the corners, but like the C-Class, its priorities are skewed more towards comfort than handling. A Jaguar XF is more fun to drive. The steering is precise, feels pleasingly light at parking speeds and weights up nicely the faster you go, but it never really tells you much about what the front tires are up to. The E200D and E220D come as standard with conventional coil springs, but air springs, a technology normally only found on high-end luxury cars, are available as an option, and are standard on higher spec versions. Toggling through the drive mode selector on the console changes the stiffness of the air springs. If you want to get anywhere remotely quickly, you'll need to engage sport mode to get rid of unwelcome body roll. The 2-wheel drive model's traction is excellent, and this is only improved in all-wheel drive 4MATIC cars. Mercedes-AMG models noticeably sharper for the ultimate in E-Class handling. You'll want either of the AMG prepared cars, the E43 and E63. The former sits halfway between the standard car and the V8 Super Saloon, and as a result its handling can feel a little confused. While the steering is very reactive, it doesn't offer much in the way of communication, and in the softer driving modes there is still a degree of body roll to contend with. The 4MATIC all-wheel drive system also favors understeer when the limits of grip are reached. The E63 however is much less of a compromise, with quick and accurate steering and flat handling even when pushed hard. Its all-wheel drive system feels considerably more rear-wheel biased, with a balanced feel in corners than slips in controllable oversteer when pushed. This model also features a controversial drift mode which sends more power to the rear wheels for massive slides when conditions allow. Really, you want to save this for a controlled, off-road environment, where the consequences of getting it wrong can be removed, or at least mitigated. Regardless, the E63 is a seriously impressive car even on narrow twisting roads. At times during our test it felt like a much smaller and lighter C63, with all the agility and turn-in ability of a sports car, rather than a near 2-ton saloon. Massive full-width digital dashboard impresses styling and build quality is closer to S-Class than C. Multicolor ambient lighting looks great at night. The E-Class blows the opposition out of the water when it comes to interior style, borrowing heavily from its S-Class big brother, and in some areas, actually improving on it. The build quality is excellent, closer to that of an S-Class than the C-Class below it. The Bentley-like organ stop heater vents add to the sense of luxury. Standard cars come with 2 traditional style instruments and an iPad-like, but not touch-operated, multimedia screen on the top of the dash. For maximum wear you need to choose the optional dual-screen setup, which actually looks like one hugely long screen stretching from the driver's side almost to the passengers. Mercedes doesn't believe touch screens are safe, so has added a small thumb control on the steering wheel spoke to help you operate the multimedia functions. It's not easy to operate at first, but feels natural with time. Every E-Class has an automatic gearbox controlled by an indicator-like column stalk and an electric handbrake that frees up useful storage room in the center console. Great ride-on standard springs air suspension is luxurious. AMG cars feel purposefully firm. If you're looking for the most relaxing big saloon on the market, look no further. No other car in the class can match the new Mercedes-Benz E-Class for comfort and refinement. Whether you're idling at traffic lights or pounding the motorway, engine, tire and wind noise are impressively hushed. Ride comfort is excellent in all versions, but the air spring suspension, standard on higher spec E-Classes, optional on others, has a clear advantage here, isolating occupants from smaller frequency bumps that would be felt with the standard coil springs. Optional adaptive dampers help smooth the ride on cars without the air suspension. Changing the drive mode selector on the console from Comfort to Sport or Sport Plus tightens the handling at the expense of comfort. The front seats are extremely comfortable, and available with both heating and cooling functions. The rear bench has a flat middle section, meaning the car can be used as a 5-seater if needed. Mercedes-AMG ride comfort. Both E43 and E63 models come with air suspension, but don't expect the same wafty ride as you get in the normal E-Class. The AMG cars have a special performance setup, and that means a purposeful firmness that you'll notice most on lumpy roads. The 6-cylinder car is very easy to live with, while the full-fat E63 is less cushy even in its least aggressive drive mode, and sharpened up in Sport Plus it feels very hard indeed. On undulating back roads the E63S it actually feels faster in Sport or normal mode, the softer suspension allowing the car to flow better over the cracked tarmac. Only 2 main trims to choose from, 2 big options packs with lots of kit. Host of AMG performance models too. There are only 2 trim levels to contend with in the core E-Class saloon range, say and AMG Align. As ever with premium German saloons, you've also got a raft of optional extras to choose from to personalize your car. Standard Mercedes-Benz E-Class saloon equipment. All versions from say specification get parking sensors, reversing camera, active braking assist, protects against rear-end collisions by alerting the driver if traveling too close to the car in front, and prepares the brakes accordingly. 3-spoke multifunction steering wheel with controls for the infotainment system. 17 or 18-inch wheels depending on engine, electrically folding door mirrors, automatic lights and wipers. LED headlights, cruise control, dynamic select driver profile system, DIB radio, sat-nav, heated front leather seats, keyless ignition. On top of that, E350D and E350E same models enjoy air suspension, the 12.3-inch infotainment screen, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto smartphone connectivity, and a touchpad to control the infotainment. What do you get in the AMG Align? AMG bodykit and floor mats, 19-inch alloys, AMG steering wheel, false leather fabric upholstery, electrically adjustable seats, styling upgrades, black open pore wood trim, black roof liner, contrast stitching, stainless steel sports pedals. Mercedes-AMG E43 and E63 sitting above the standard range of cars are a pair of Mercedes-AMG versions, called E43 and E63. The former is a bit of a halfway house between the mainstream car and the full-fat V8 version, and as such comes with loads of extra sports styling. This E43 includes 19-inch alloys, unique AMG bodykit, spoiler and louder exhaust air suspension, with the performance-tuned fake leather dashboard, red seat belts. Going the whole E63 hog isn't quite as simple as it sounds, as there are actually 3 versions to pick from. The standard car, if you can call it that, is distinguished externally by its 19-inch alloys and wide-body AMG bodykit, including some purposefully flared front wheel arches. You also get electrically adjustable front sports seats, steering column and exterior mirror with memory function, common online system with 12.3-inch display and a flat-bottomed wheel, mechanical limited slip differential on the rear axle to improve grip performance, 9-speed automatic gearbox with launch control, cylinder shut-off technology to help improve fuel economy. Next up is the faster E63S, which packs more power as well as some layering styling upgrades to ensure everyone knows what you've got under the bonnet. What accessories do you get in the E63S? 20-inch alloys, red brake calipers, grippier bucket seats, AMG track pace telemetry system, dynamic engine mounts, electronically controlled limited slip differential. Finally, there's the limited run E63S Edition 1, which retains the former car's performance but adds different 20-inch alloys and loads of look-at-me bodywork stripes and shiny black trim. Tech highlights include keyless go, adaptive LED headlights with high beam assist, panoramic glass sunroof, Burmester surround sound system, yellow edition 1 interior trim. Optional Mercedes-Benz E-Class saloon accessories. A lot of the optional extras on offer are arranged in packages, the contents of which are laid out below: premium pack, keyless entry and ignition, memory function for front seats, panoramic glass sunroof, premium plus pack, as above, but with Burmester surround sound system and intelligent cornering LED headlights, lane tracking pack, blind spot assist, warns of a vehicle in your blind spot, and active lane keeping assist, which uses the brakes to prevent you drifting out of your lane, driving assistance plus pack, suite of systems to make driving easier and safer, including automatic braking, evasive automatic steering, active lane keeping assist and blind spot assist, along with collision prevention technology if the car senses an impending impact. Other options available include a 360-degree camera, tow bar, a range of paint and wheel finishes, fragranced air conditioning, power closing for doors and boot lid, heated rear seats, a range of hi-fi upgrades and a head-up display. Mercedes-Benz E-Class has a 5-star Euro NCAP rating, loads of standard safety kit plus options to choose from. Space age tech mean the E-Class is almost autonomous. Safety is a cornerstone of the Mercedes-Benz brand, so it'll come as no surprise to find the E-Class saloon packed to the gunnels with kit to keep you, your passengers, pedestrians and other road users safe, as well as a coveted 5-star Euro NCAP rating. You've got airbags all around the cabin, a bonnet that rises in the event of a pedestrian collision, a fatigue detection system, cruise control, ISOFIX child seat lashing points, front and rear parking sensors, tire pressure monitoring and collision assistance features such as brake preparation if an impact is detected. Another interesting system is pre-safe sound, which plays a frequency through the speaker system to prevent damage to ears in the event of an accident. Optional E-Class saloon safety kit. This is where the real technological wizardry comes in. There's a huge amount of additional equipment you can pack onto your E-Class to improve safety. You can have the lane tracking package, which includes a blind spot assist system, warns of vehicles in your blind spot, and an active lane keeping assist system that'll steer you back into your lane if the car thinks you're drifting out. The Driving Assistance Plus pack is probably the biggest news here. It features a raft of features that come together to effectively make autonomous driving possible. This means automatic emergency braking along with evasive steering assist, a feature that'll help the driver steer the car away from objects in dangerous situations. There's even a system for moving front seat occupants away from the sides of the car in the event of an accident. True 5-seater with space for tall adults, massive boot to stash luggage in as well. Futuristic remote parking is a great gadget. The Mercedes-Benz E-Class saloon is 43mm longer than its predecessor and there's an extra 65mm between front and rear wheels. That means cabin space is extended, which in turn means more room all around. The rear seats are a welcome proposition even for taller adults, although very tall passengers will want to avoid the center seat due to the tall transmission tunnel running through it. The Mercedes-Benz E-Class hides its size well thanks to its sweeping lines, but it's still pushing 5 meters in length, which means some parking spaces may feel a little short. Still, it's easy to see out of and maneuver, so providing you've got the room, it'll be a doddle to park. A very clever optional feature that dramatically boosts this car's practicality is the remote parking pilot, which can get cars into and out of parking spaces remotely via a smartphone application. That means you can squeeze the car into spots without worrying about having to get in and out of the doors, making smaller spaces a possibility. The Mercedes-Benz E-Class saloon has become a bit of a big boot champion, particularly in estate form, so there's no surprise with this model's capacity, 540 litres. Teamed with a wide and square opening, this makes the Merc a very practical car and a perfect companion for weekends away or trips to the golf course. There is a penalty of around 140 litres of space for picking the hybrid version because its batteries are located under the boot floor, and take up a fair bit of space.